Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to something that landed in my email inbox that immediately intrigued my interest. As you all know, I like to have discussions around faith and what that means to me, but also learning and understanding what it means or doesn't mean to other people in the most respectful way. And this is Charlie Kirk, Club Random with Bill Maher, rhymes with jar, and they are kind of discussing everything from faith to politics, those two things together and in between. The video is really long, so I'm gonna just react to like a portion of it, and if we decide we like where this conversation goes between us, then I'll come back and do a part 2, possibly a part 3, and possibly a part 4. But that's for you to let me know if you want to see it. So let's get into this. Again, this is Charlie Kirk's Club Random. All right.
Club Random is brought to you by the audio marketing gurus at Radioactive Media. They believe in the power of audio so much they even use it themselves right here, right now. Text the word RANDOM to 511-511. Discover how audio marketing can surpass your current strategies with new and innovative ways that sound better. Go to radioactivemedia.com or text RANDOM to 511-511. Text RANDOM to 511-511 today. Message and data rates may apply. Add ZipRecruiter.
He has got some sponsorships. He's making the money. All right, I just want to stop and pause. I obviously misquoted this. If you think I am ever reacting to something in an unauthentic way, these bloopers should let you know. Clearly, I've literally never watched this. This is Bill Maher's podcast, Club Random, which I have seen clips of. I think I've reacted to clips of it from on, different segments of things, but I didn't know who it belonged to. So I apologize before you throw tomatoes at me in the comments. Back to the sponsored programming.
Recruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It lets you post jobs today and talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Best of all, it does most of the work for you, so you save time. And right now, you can try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/random. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/random right now to try Zip Intro for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/random. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Spring is here and the warm weather makes me want to get outside for some quality time playing basketball and meeting up with friends. The last thing I want to do in the little free time I have is worry about making food. Luckily, I found Factor with their nutritious 2-minute meals.
I'm gonna let it keep
Eating well
I'm
has
gonna turn
never
the volume down. I would skip through these, but someone brought to my attention recently the least I could do for using someone else's content as reactionary content for my channel is allow their ads to air and help them make money. And so I try to do that. Okay. All right.
Are like born, quote unquote, in the wrong body?
No, I don't agree.
No?
Okay,
I think you might
Kirk.
think they are. There's a book of the Bible I think you'd love.
What?
Song of Solomon.
Song of Solomon. Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Oh, in the Bible?
Song of Solomon's all about sex.
Charlie Kirk here.
I am here.
Kirk, reporting for duty.
That's what they call me.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
Us?
Well, our gang. Or me.
Is there someone with you?
No. Thanks
Sure,
for
he
having
has
me.
a
You're not
team.
expecting trouble,
Oh,
are
he's
you?
tall.
Not
You
quite,
trouble with security?
unfortunately.
You do?
Yeah.
So that's us.
Wow.
That's what he meant.
Like what kind?
Security.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to do that, but that's the
security.
price of fame. And boy, you're everywhere. You're
Well, we have
like the new It Boy of podcasts. No, it's true.
We have different jihadis that want to kill me. The purple-haired jihadis, the woke guys.
Well,
So
they kill me. They want to kill me just as bad.
What?
probably.
Oh, they really do.
No, you've been very outspoken on the woke stuff. Big time.
Yes. I mean, and they just the way within a religion they hate their own apostates more. I would say they hate me more because I'm supposed to like get on the short bus to Crazy Town with them, and I won't. And yet I'm still a liberal and still like, we probably could argue all day about Donald Trump and what he's doing, which I'm not down with. But, it's always the people who are closest who think, oh gosh, you shouldn't have. You're a traitor somehow.
I was going to ask, is it because they thought you were one of them and that...
I am one of them. They're not one of me.
Okay.
It's the liberals who have...
So they've left you, not you left.
Yeah, well,
I think that's
feel
fair.
like there's... Liberal and woke are two completely different things. It was the theme of my last stand-up special that I just did a few months ago. And it's basically...
There's a stand-up special and y'all didn't tell me about it? There's a stand-up special that Bill Maher did a couple of months ago and y'all didn't tell me about it? Do we need to react to that? Because I haven't actually been reacting to much stand-up or comedy because I don't know who to react to next. I feel like the well is run dry. Y'all haven't given me any suggestions. Flood the comments right now with, do I need to react to this and or another new special or comedian? Introduce me to the new comedians. I'm totally open to it. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't the whole special, of course, but it was a large part of it devoted to that, to proving that case. That,
like mixologist.
What liberals believe, woke is something completely different. It's very often the opposite of it. Liberalism is, let's live in a colorblind society. That's the goal. Woke's goal is, we see race everywhere.
Race obsession.
Yeah.
And so I've said this before on my channel. There has been a lot of, I have had to learn what woke means in the world of the internet today, because growing up and in my experience, the word woke meant you were conscious, you were aware, like the third eye, the people who are always like, I have a third eye, like you just were fully awoke and aware to like what is really going on, the government's true, agenda, and you were truly in tune with your spirit. Like it was almost like the free hippie weirdos is what wokeness was in my understanding. And in this day and age, or I guess certain people have taken the word woke, and now these are the people who are obsessed with gender and gender rights and like Bill just said, they're kind of actually fixated on race and what that means to people's, privileges and abilities and their rights and all these things. And it's like, for a little bit of time when I first started kind of reacting to this type of content was genuinely like, where did this come from? This is not what I know woke to be. So I appreciate kind of this part of the conversation, validating that I'm not crazy.
Yes. Okay. So that's not liberal. You changed. Liberal is there are two-state solution. Woke is river to the sea. Okay. So just don't take my word and say you're that. You took this and took it to, you got off the F train, you fell asleep, and you got off the 20 stops
the wrong
too far, and don't blame me for that.
You're in Canarsie now.
Drink?
No.
Coney Island.
You don't drink?
No.
He doesn't strike me as the type to drink.
And you're married and super Christian. We're going to get along great.
This is going to just be perfect.
But can I just ask you, because I want to find out a lot about you, because you're obviously a super bright guy, but you do think that I have the right to live completely opposite than you do.
I think you can get as drunk as you'd like.
And you're that kind of an American, right? You're not forcing your opinions as.
I'm not here to say you can't. What are you talking about?
No, okay. So you think pot should be legal?
That's a complicated. I have a very unpopular view on pot. Can I tell you my case on pot?
Please do.
It's not the depression that it might be causing or the fact that it might be hurting kids' brains. It's the smell. It's the stench that
He's like, I just hate the way it smells.
I mean, kids shouldn't do it. Of course, kids shouldn't. It definitely didn't hurt my brain.
But let me ask, do you think that more teenagers are doing pot today, or that before legalization or after legalization?
You know what?
Do you think usage rates are going up or down? I don't know the answer.
Oh, you'll be fascinated by this because, I'm not married, so I go out. So sometimes I'm out with like people who are a great deal younger than me. I don't know how they get in my group, but they do. And so I've been to sometimes parties like the Hollywood parties. And this is probably not most of America exactly this way, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's that different. And first of all, in this town, it's all run by like the Nepo babies. The Nepo babies, the trust fund kids, is all these little 22-year-old
The J.B. Pritzker types.
Well,
I'm kidding.
No, I'm sure. I know who you mean. The governor of Illinois.
He inherited the Hyatt.
Oh, sure.
Well, Nepo baby.
We invented Nepo baby out here. Okay, but yes, it's everywhere now, even on the Lakers.
He's about to mix his drink with his fingers, even on the Lakers.
That's real privilege there. You got some privilege if you can get.
Well, Okay, I don't want I don't want LeBron mad at me like he is
with Stephen A.
My friend Stephen A. But I mean, that is, But the point is that when you go out to these, I've been to these parties where like it's a bunch of 22-year-old kids, and none of them are smoking pot. Why? They're on real drugs. Pot's so like my generation. It's like I couldn't find pot at one of these parties. I was the
Okay. I have a couple of things to say. One, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if it is actually ruining brains, like Charlie said. I do think it alters the state of your mind, and that's the point, right? Like, I think, and it alters everybody's state differently. So some people do, I think depression is a thing. I think paranoia is a thing. Like, as for myself, anytime I have partaken, and I'm talking years and years and years ago, I decided years and years and years ago, this is not a sport for me. Okay. I am not running that race. I struggled with paranoia, and then I just felt completely useless. Like it was unproductive. I would go through the paranoia, then I get hungry, and then I'd sleep. And I'm like, what did I accomplish in that time? And so, yeah, I don't know if I think it's ruining their brains, but I do think it alters their mind. Secondly, I reacted to something a while ago, and it was saying that the use of drugs as a whole, like any type of substance, is on the decline with this generation. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do specifically remember someone quoting that and saying it was a fact. Again, not saying it was a fact. I'm just repeating what it was said and paraphrasing. Again, I don't know if that is true, but I can imagine that as drugs have become just way less taboo and way more recreational, teenagers tend to be angsty and want to rebel. So now that, let's say, marijuana is legalized, it's no longer this big taboo thing. More people are kind of like, whatever. The kids don't really want to do it anymore. They're kind of like, I need to do something that's going to get, that's a little more rebellious. I think that's what I think. And then also, there are harder things out there to be taking. Sad to say, but it's the truth. It's like, are you kidding me? Weed, please get that out of here. I also think that it is a lot of like, it's the old man's drug now. Like a lot of my millennial male friends, specifically millennial female friends, it's like what they do. It's like going home and making yourself a cocktail. They'll just roll up and sit down, and like that's how they decompress from the end of the day. So it's no longer this like big recreational thing. It's like medicinal for real for a lot of people. Like anxiety and stress, it's a relief for them. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Those are my thoughts on that. I also love that he addressed that. I could have guessed that Charlie was conservative. He's a Christian. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. And I love that he's like, but you're not one of those that's trying to like perpetuate your Christianity onto me, right? And I feel I am the same way. I'm very kind of like, this is what I believe. I don't think I'm a traditional Christian by any means. I'm very much more relational than I am religion. Like I'm all about my relationship with Christ than I am about like following a specific regimented religion and all the things that come with that. But I just love that conversation, because I do think for the most part, that's how most believers of any faith are. If they're following their faith, it's like, I am not here to judge or condemn or point the finger and make you feel some type of way. Those are who we call like the Bible thumping, like, Jesus warrior. It's like, that's not my job. That's not my job. My job is just to spread light and be love and be light. And maybe hopefully you want to come toward the kingdom. But if not, I still love you the same, All right. Enough of me. Let's get back to them.
And they were asking me for it. The few kids who want to, they take this, they've
like
got
psychedelics
correct.
or mushrooms,
Yeah.
LSD.
Mushrooms,
Okay.
Ketamine,
The
whatever.
hard stuff.
Ketamine, that has some medicinal
Molly,
property, but not at a party.
It's all ingested before they even leave
Get
the
there.
house. So that's where the
Bill is really
good
on the
news,
scene.
parents, your kids aren't on pot.
Yeah, but they're on
way worse, I think.
They're on a big trip. So, but do you think that since we've legalized, less teenagers are doing, like 13, 14,
That's
15
what I'm
year olds?
saying. Like,
Because that was always the argument, right? If we legalize it, less kids would do it.
I don't know what 14-year-olds are doing.
No, I don't know the answer.
That's
You're-
my
you're not
story, and
hanging
I'm
out with
sticking
them?
to it.
But we
I
can
really
agree
don't.
that kids should. That's how we
Oh,
could agree on that.
totally.
Yeah.
But we also should be able to agree that we shouldn't force adults to organize their lives around what kids
children
might get
shouldn't be
into.
doing.
That's a good argument.
I mean,
do you
that's a
think
fair
that
argument.
I mean, you're not against porn, are you?
Well, I actually once struggled with porn. Thankfully, I'm free of that. But I mean,
How can you struggle with it?
I mean,
It's so easy.
I want to be clear. Porn is an addiction, and it is something that is and can be struggled with. I knew that was going to be weird because, again, as a Christian man, I think you'll find 90% of Christian men either have or are struggling with porn because biblically it is not something you should be partaking in, but our world has normalized it so much that it is a really big deal in all ages, all genders. Everyone is being introduced to it extremely early, and it's got such an addictive property. I have a friend who has a very young teenage daughter who she has found out is like in the bathroom watching this stuff. So in that realm, it is an addictive thing and it is problematic. Those are my thoughts.
well, you could grow addicted to it. I mean, it can.
I know, I was kidding.
No, but no. I mean, yeah, I don't have that issue anymore, thankfully. But I would ask the question though, like, do you think since the legalization of marijuana in LA, it's made it a better or worse
Why did
place
he
to live,
untie
or
his
just it
shoes
hasn't changed
to
at all?
retie it?
It certainly hasn't changed my life.
Is it a nervous?
I grew up right outside here.
Do you think the quality of life has gone up or down?
Well, I don't know, but that's not really the relevant question, is it? Even if there is a deleterious effect, there is too many things we do, and we would not use that as a reason to prescribe our basic freedoms.
Should people,
I mean,
be able to do drugs
should people?
outside, like on the street, or?
No, definitely not on the street.
Okay, so there are some limits.
Of course,
Yeah,
there
okay,
are limits.
yeah.
Yes, and maybe of certain drugs, or certain drugs should be by prescription, as we do with pharmaceutical drugs. But certainly pot is more benign than alcohol. I mean, I could give you the stats on that. We all know that. Is it health food? No, I'm not crazy like some of my hippie friends are, trying to portray it as something that's actually good for your lungs. But I don't think it's a trade-off. When you're an adult, you have the right to make trade-offs. Trade-offs is the essence of.
That's like one of my favorite trends right now. Is like realizing I'm an adult and I have the.
I'm going to have the.
And I'm trying to fix my my monitor screen here. Realizing I'm an adult and I have free will. It's like I think that like we're all living the same life. Like sometimes you really have an aha moment. Like no one's gonna say. I can literally. I pay my own bills. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. All right, something is wrong. Okay, I'm rewinding it just a tad bit. Here we go. But certainly pot is more benign than alcohol. I mean, I could give you the stats on that. We all know that. Is it health food? No, I'm not crazy like some of my hippie friends are, trying to portray it as something that's actually good for your lungs. But I don't think good for your lungs.
Well, it's a trade-off.
Who's saying
when
that?
you're an adult, you have the right to make trade-offs. Trade-offs is the essence of life. I'm going to have this piece of cake tonight and be a little fatter tomorrow, or I'm not going to do that and feel better tomorrow. And we all make.
Okay, I'm sorry to keep pausing. I'm not. I'm here to react, and so I want to react. I think fundamentally, the thing that is missing in our society is just discipline. We all have free will. And I think one of the biggest parts of faith in believing in something is that it calls you to have discipline, right? We just talked about rhymes with corn. We just talked about that. We're talking about alcoholism. All of these things are of free will. You could go out and do any kind of substance you want to, but if you have the discipline to say, I know that's not good for me. I don't want to fall. I don't need to fall into peer pressure. I'd rather live my life this way. That is a certain, I want to follow Christ, or I want to follow Buddha, or I want to follow like whatever. Allah, I'm like thinking of all anyway, the underlying thing is discipline. And what I have come to understand is no one hates to be told what to do more than a human being. A human being hates to be told what to do. And we love to use free will as kind of the excuse to just not buckle down and be disciplined, right? Like you go on a diet, you fast, or, you decide to not drink. Like right now, I have decided like, I'm not drinking right now. And I'm fine telling people that, but it's so easy to go into an environment where other people are and allow my discipline to fall. And I think a lot of it is just a lack of discipline. People, and this again is, I'm always saying like, you don't have to believe in who I believe in, what I believe in, but I do believe everyone should be anchored in something. They should have something that grounds them and keeps them anchored so that they just don't drown. Literally, like something that keeps you from drowning on your worst days where you have no will to go on. We've all been there. And it's like, but I have something that keeps me grounded and anchors me. I just think for the most part, there is such a lack of discipline and a will to have discipline and to go on with it. And it's why we fall to our vices. It is. We, meaning I'm including myself. But listening to Bill have this conversation, it really is about Charlie's demeanor, where he's like, you're right. But when you're somebody who is so locked in to your religion, your faith, your beliefs, you can totally understand and sympathize and agree with somebody, but also be like, yeah, but I don't struggle with that because I have a discipline that is rooted and grounded in something. And again, this is not me trying to sell religion, but it's just about anything that can anchor you to a really powerful discipline. I hope that's making sense. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I fall short. I need to be more disciplined in my budget. I need to be more disciplined in my sleep schedule. I need to be more disciplined in my patience, like a lot of things. But I think if more of us could really hone in on that, we would find less need to drink, partake in substance, sexual addictions, all these things. I find that in Charlie's demeanor, and I think a lot of times this is why people think people of faith are arrogant and self-righteous. It's like, no, but if you really tune into it, this is just me. I'm completely disciplined in what I believe, and I don't believe that anyone needs those things. I don't feel that way. Right? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Have I gone way too far? Have I gone too deep?
A little fatter tomorrow, or I'm not going to do that and feel better tomorrow.
Diet is another thing.
And we all make those choices on a daily basis with everything. Yes, have I probably cut off some years of my life, maybe with pot? Who knows? I may have increased them because it helped me. Certainly made me richer. It made me better at my job, better at writing, better at a lot of things I like to do. So, I might be living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Van Nuys if it wasn't for pot, and I'm probably going to live longer here.
Or who knows how successful you could have been without it.
Right.
That's true, too. That is true, too.
Do you think there's any merit to the argument that the pot has more THC and is more intense than it was 30, 40 years ago?
It's so hard.
I don't know. I hear these things and...
Oh, I hear those things too, and I'm sure that's true because once it became as commercialized as it has, of course you're going to try to maximize the potency of it. Just because the customer comes back, just like a restaurant is not interested in your health. They're interested in making the food
selling more product,
delicious as they can,
and addictive,
so you come back to that restaurant. So, but it's so hard for me to tell you because I've been smoking for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm different. Who knows what I was thinking? I mean, I remember when I first smoked, we would just sit in the car and laugh at nothing for an hour. That doesn't happen anymore. So my guess is the pot is stronger, but my resistance is weaker.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, it's, people think I'm some sort of giant pothead. I've always been very circumspect about my pot smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't smoke every day. The most I smoke is right here, once a week.
Really?
I like to be in party mode when I'm with someone I'm getting to know. This is one of the joys of my life.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to be in party mode when he's with someone he's getting to know. That's interesting. What do you guys think on that? Like, should you be fully aware when you're trying to get someone, whether it's romantically or not? Like, should you be in an altered state?
Someone I'm getting to know. This is one of the joys of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he's gonna smoke
I understand
right here in front of
that
Charlie.
it doesn't connect with some people.
Is this a cigar?
Or make some people paranoid or something.
This is
But
just a cigar.
other people, it's just, some people like a scotch, and some people like blah blah blah, and some people like complete sobriety. If that's your thing, that's fine. But to me, the most interesting place I can ever travel is inside my own mind, and drugs do help you get there.
Wow.
Do you think all hard drugs should be illegal, like heroin?
Illegal? No. I mean, well, heroin. Is there any uses for it? I mean.
Like for what San Francisco did, they pseudo-legalized it, right? I mean, they said, hey, we're going to make it easier for you to do heroin.
No, we shouldn't make it easier. That's crazy.
Where they had drug injection sites, basically, right?
That's so sad.
No, I know, but that was a public policy position of Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco.
That's the low-lying fruit for you right-wing.
No, that's a question.
But isn't it?
I want to create...
It's the low-lying fruit. It's like...
He asked the question, answer it.
It's a boundary. I want to create a boundary.
And you're right. I mean, again, I'm for picking that fruit too. It's silly to help drug addicts be drug addicts and keep them on the street. It's stupid to keep homeless on the street.
Oh, I totally agree.
As another way, liberals are different than the woke. The liberal thing forever was, for compassion's sake, get them off the street. That's not the woke version. Their version is, they're an endangered species. Don't touch them in their natural habitat, living under a bridge.
Let them defecate. Let them do whatever they want.
It's their thing. And, I mean, there should be nothing more basic than a government claiming the streets. The streets are for the citizens. Then it's not to live in. Build a barracks. I mean, why are these things, maybe you can answer that, why are these kind of things so difficult? You think, such common sense. Build a fucking barracks. I know homeless people say they don't want to live there. You don't have a choice. Oh, we'll get robbed there. Hire security. It's pennies on the dollar. Why is it so difficult? I feel like I, with no real knowledge of this field, could do it. If I had people who would carry out I would say, okay, get me specs. I want to see where a place we could build it. I want to see what the barracks looks like. I want to see who works there. Is it really in the toilets, whatever? And somebody must be Mitt Romney, somebody who did the Olympics, somebody who could come in and
We know how to clean up the streets. I mean, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets of San Francisco when Xi Jinping showed up. I mean, it's just an act of the will. They don't want to do it.
Right, like when they get the whores off the street, when the mayor is like doing one of those cleanup.
Or like when the MLB All-Star game goes to Seattle, all of a sudden it's America's cleanest city.
Right. So you're saying if we can do it that one day.
Well, I'm saying it's an act of the will. It's all that it is. And woke, I won't even say left, woke philosophy is they don't really believe in private property. And at its core, why shouldn't someone be able to defecate on the side of the street? Who are you to judge?
Well, that's not woke, yes, maybe.
I'm saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
right,
which I think is a fair distinction.
That's another
I would love to know, do you all think that is a fair distinction? I think that's a fair distinction. I do think there is a difference between woke and liberal. And I've been learning, honestly, the difference as I've started to dive more and more into this sector of the internet. Woke feels like it's the extreme, the far left, right? Left. Like if we're looking at it on some type of like mathematical timeline, you've got far left over here, you've got far right over here, you've got liberals here, you've got conservatives here, and you've got centrists here, right? Like that's literally what it is. And then people in between. This is a really interesting conversation. I'm hoping you all are interested in getting to having me watch it more all together with you all, because I think I like this conversation. I like the polar opposite of it. I enjoy watching human beings have common sense, mutually respectful, different conversations with different beliefs. Like I enjoy this. I learn a lot from it. It allows me, like how Bill was saying, he feels like he learns the most inside his own mind. I learn the most this way. It opens my mind. It opens my perspective. It opens my train of thought. It's training me to think outside of what I know and what I've been trained to believe. Because whether you believe it or not, we've all been trained to believe certain things by who we were raised by, the environment we grew up in, our circumstances. All of those things have trained us to think a certain way. And so I love to listen and talk to people who have a different train of thought. That's literally where the phrase came from. All right, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna find a good place, a place I feel is good to stop, and then you all let me know. I've asked you for a few things now. I need you to just write one large comment answering all of my questions about what you would like and what you believe and what you know, all those things.
Saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
Right,
which I think is
good.
a fair distinction.
That's another reason. Another one we can add to the list of woke is not liberal.
No, and I think left versus liberal or woke versus liberal is an important distinction.
Right.
I will say what makes you different is few liberals stand up to the woke.
And
That is few liberals are willing to stand up to woke.
I think
absolutely.
that's true.
And few conservatives stand up to Trump.
Fair enough. I mean, you can stand up or disagree, but I guess you could say the question,
well,
is Trump, woke is an ideology. Is Trump an ideology? I mean, he's a person.
I think some
MAGA
people
is an
treat
ideology.
Trump, okay.
But I mean,
okay.
I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff. I mean,
take back what I said.
I don't think we should go to war with Iran.
MAGA
I think that'd be a big mistake.
Also, when you get to, we're going to send homegrown American citizens to foreign prisons.
Oh, so the thing he said, you mean?
Homegrown.
To Bukele.
Americans.
No, and if he were to do that, I would support it.
Great.
But I don't. I think that is a one-liner that he gave to Bukele. I think that is. You met the man.
Yes.
Do you think he actually believes that? Like he would do that?
It's worse if he does or would. It's still horrible that an American president would say that.
Say that?
Look me in the eye and tell me if Obama had said that, what your reaction would be.
Wouldn't like it.
Wouldn't like it. I think it would be a little more vitriolic than that.
We'd be
apoplectic.
Upset.
Okay.
I appreciate Charlie's willingness to be truthful and honest, and I love that he changed his mind. He's like, "You're right. We would freak out." And I often say that in my comments. So many of you love to like, yeah, but if Biden, yeah, but if Obama, and it's just like, but can we keep on track about who we're talking about right now? Like, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, but right now. But I get it. I get why people do that, and I think the same way Bill did it right now. Like, okay. You know, I can just disagree with Trump saying it, but if Obama did it, you do a little bit more than disagree. These are fair. I get it. I totally get it. All right, I'm going to stop right here because we are starting to get, I think, deeper into the political realm. Please let me know if you want me to continue watching this. Right now, we're at 16 minutes and 2 seconds, and this video is 1 hour and 37 minutes long. I'm happy to break it up into like 3 more parts, and we'll do, I guess, essentially another like three 30 minutes, some give or take. Clearly, math is not my ministry. I actually need to go finish homeschooling my daughter in math right now. But anyway, I am enjoying this conversation. I enjoy these type of conversations. I know Bill is kind of controversial and can be polarizing, but I do think he is a common sense thinker. And I do think he makes really good points. I think I really like Charlie Kirk from what I'm seeing right here as far as, I tell you guys a lot, like I learned watching and reacting to this type of stuff that I am far more traditional in my thinking than I thought I was. I think I thought like I was more open to things than I actually am. And I think that has to speak to my faith. I don't think I'm conservative, but I do think I have a lot of traditional values, traditionally Christian, traditionally American values. And so I think I identify a lot with Charlie, his demeanor, and some of the things he said so far. But I also think I identify a lot with the things that Bill says. So I'm interested in this. Let me know if you are too. Let me know your other thoughts or your complete thoughts in the comments. As always, keep it cute or put it on mute. I do not mind perspectives. I do not mind opinions. I do not mind us going back and forth. But I do mind if you cannot keep it kind. So that means no name calling. Okay? No mudslinging. No insulting. Just be kind. All right, friends? I love you. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye.